installing the hood real quick. The only thing that makes this a little more complicated than normal is I'm doing it by myself. No one's around, no one's even home but the dogs. It's a beautiful day out, so a little bit of advice before we get going here. Obviously it's a lot easier to do this if you got help. Also, I probably wouldn't recommend wearing the old flippy floppies to do this, but you know what? The wife and the dog are headed out of the house for a little bit, and so I got just a little bit of time to sneak out here and get some stuff done. So I'm going to slap this hood on. It's on this 1969 Bronco, so this one's a little different than a normal vehicle, I would say. I guess normal, depending on what you want to call normal, whatever you're probably working on. It doesn't have bolted hinges on. It's got hinges that are a part of the hood. They just do the flippy floppy thing. And then it's got threaded holes kind of up on the cowl, windshield, firewall part. If I wanted this to go smoothly, I'd probably go run a tap through the holes where the hinges are going to bolt up to, just to clean the threads out and make sure it bolts well. That way I don't have to like put the hood on and then have issues with the bolt hole, take the hood off and put it back on all the time by myself. But I don't really feel like doing that. I feel like cutting a corner and I'm just going to slap it on. So that being said, this is how I'm going to do it by myself. Like I said, it's probably easier to get help, but here's how I do it by myself. I'm going to grab the hood and let's get started here. Alright, so here's our hood. Basically now I'm just going to flop her on up, get her set into place. I've already got my fenders and core support and grill and all that kind of loosely bolted in place right now. I don't have everything all bolted in it, but this thing's getting ready to get blown apart to get put into paint anyways. So I'm just kind of 2-bolt, 4-bolt and everything for now, and then I'll get disassembled on the paint. So I'm just going to slap this up, and then we'll move on from there. Now you want to try to avoid dragging on metal as much as you can because you don't want to go scratch it and make yourself more body work to have to do. But you can see a lot of this just comes down to brute force and a little bit of can-do attitude, maybe a little bit of elbow grease. Come on, you little bugger. Get in there. Okay, so now I know what you're thinking. That's the easy part, is just getting the hood sitting there. The hard part is getting bolts in it. But don't you wait. This is where the tip tricks come into play right now. If you don't have a spare set of hands laying around, I bet you have a rake or something similar. All I'm gonna do is use that to prop the hood up. Now that should be just sketchy enough that I can kind of go back there, lift the back end up, and slap some bolts in it and call it a day. Big thing here is to try not to knock the hood off of your rake or whatever you're using and make the hood fall on you and hurt. It's a really good idea to like put your head under there like I was just doing though. Well, what way did these hinges go? Do they go up? The hinges go up, not under the hood. Well, that's kind of a silly design because then you'll see the bolt head sticking out. I don't like it, but you know what? I'm not related to Henry Ford. Come out there, helping hand. Well, that makes it even easier. I don't know that I really even need the helping hand now. I don't know, that sure seems off. Yeah, it does go. They do go down. I was wrong. I don't know what I was thinking there. I think I'm gonna have to get this hood a lot higher than I thought. Doesn't do me no good and I don't have my rake over here. Still need it to go up more. Yeah. It's lined up. I can get the bolts in. Where are my bolts? There's 2 bolts. These are just 5/16. 5/16 18 thread. I'm just using what I have laying around the rollaway. These are like 3/4. Because like I said, these bolts ain't gonna be permanent. This is just to kind of test fit everything before it gets blown apart to go to paint. It's a good idea when you have your hood barely propped up by a rake to just keep your head right underneath it. That way if this falls, it'll really teach you a lesson. Come on, you too good for your home? Well, now's about the time that I start to really wish I had tapped these holes out. So why don't you guys hang tight? I'm gonna get these bolts in. I'm not gonna pull it down and tap them, I swear. Well, a little update for you. I got the outside bolts in on both, and then I just flipped the old hood up to lean up, excuse me, lean up against the roof there, got the inside bolts in, haven't really adjusted it much or done anything like that. But I figured I would show you. This is how I chose to do it, was get outsides in, one on each side, and I only had 2 3/4 inch and 2 1/2 inch long bolts. So I put the 3/4 on the outside, flipped it up, and then put the halves on the inside. And halves are really just for looks. So anyways, I'm gonna set the camera back up here and then we'll set this down, check our gaps, and if we need to, we can adjust it. But since it's just a temp fit, I bet we're just gonna say it's good no matter where it sits. Now, I know I'm gonna have a little honesty hour moment with you. I had to break out a tap. I was putting the inside bolt in on that side and cross-threaded the living life out of it and sent her home with a ratchet, and then decided to back it back out, clean it out with a tap, put the bolt back in, and call it a day. But it was easy with the hood flipped up like this. Come on down, little buddy. Oh yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, I am way misaligned. This passenger side is way down, driver side is way up. Passenger side is low to my body's lines, driver side is a touch low at the front, but it's got no hood latch mechanisms in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide that side up. So it's going to loosen the bolts, wedge it up, tighten it back down. Now I hope all this video has really told you is you don't really need any fancy tools. You don't even need a second set of hands. You just need some brute force and some determination. Maybe a little bit of ingenuity and a rake. So the other thing I've got going on is my hood is actually slid to the driver's side a little bit. And I can tell that because this gap is big and this gap is small. So same sort of thing, loosen the bolts up, slide the hood over, switch the bolts back down. And then I would say for a test fit, that's good enough to go. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like I said, I don't wanna get too carried away and lining these body panels up and doing everything like that. Cause this is just, it's in bare steel. It's getting ready to get blown apart and put some paint on it. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, share this video, tell all your friends, family, neighbors, whoever you can think of to watch it, or check out the other stuff on the channel. I'd love to hear, what would you guys like to see more of? What would you like to see less of? Anyway, stay tuned, play more where that came from. Get out and get after your projects.